Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. This is your host, Chris and Dpalm here, and we're here to talk. So a couple things are happening right now. One, I'm trying to do a Facebook Live, and I don't know if it's working or not. It looks like it's choppy and everything's happening. So we'll have to play around with that. So if you're on Facebook and you see us gone live, then congratulations. I don't know how that fucking shit works. The other thing, too, is we're combining both The Flash and The Legends of Tomorrow tonight. We're doing the season finale, so we're just going to do it all in one big thing tonight. So, yeah, hold on tight. We're going to go into that. And we got a bunch of other stuff to talk about, too.
So much.
We're basically going to sandwich the two reviews in between talking some stuff. You know what's funny? You mentioned the Fox Disney stuff, and I actually did have it actually in my notes already. So we'll say that for the end, though. We'll save... We'll definitely say that for the end. I do have to start off though with something tonight, and again, this is unscripted again because we don't script our shows or do anything like that. We don't talk about this, huh? So why is it got to be something? Why I don't like the tone of your voice.
I don't like the tone of your voice.
I don't like the accuse. I feel like you're about to accuse me of something right here, man. I
feel like you should to be accused of.
No, man. I just wanted to I do have. It is a fuck you, but it's a kind fuck you. It's a fuck you to Tom King for writing the hell out of Batman. Because what the fuck, man? Like, it's not fair.
So you caught up?
Oh no, well, not just caught up. I read the issue today. 36.
I was gonna say the one today is so. Wow, how do you write Perfect Superman? That was it.
How do you write the perfect Superman and Batman in a comic together, yo? It is.
That was it. Amazing.
It is like if you have not read Batman 36, I'm gonna tell you right now. Stop what you're doing and go read.
You want to know why we're mad about Justice League? This is why we're mad.
Pause the show and go read it. I'm dead serious on this one. It is fantastic. I mean, just the way they did it. It is basically. It's Superman and Lois talking about like Superman's Lois is trying to understand why so back up in case you don't know, Bruce and Selena, Catwoman, are engaged, and so Bruce is asking Lois is asking Clark like why Bruce hasn't called him to let him to talk to him about the engagement or anything like this. And Clark's just like, he's busy. He's like doing everything he can to kind of avoid this, saying it's not a big deal. At the same time, Selena's asking Bruce why he hasn't called Superman, and it is a fantastic. Like they run these panels parallel to each other, and it's fucking fantastic.
Tom King's been writing comic books for 3 years.
That's just unfair.
It was ridiculous.
See, again, that's why it's a fuck you. It's a fuck you because it's like how can you be that talented? That's just unfair.
And it's so funny because I listened to all the this podcast and the latest Batman on Batman. They're talking about how hard it is to write comics because, like, if you're writing prose, it's just prose, and if you're doing a movie, especially if you're writing and directing, you can either throw in a bunch of like scene notes or not. But with comic books, the writer's kind of at the mercy of the artist in a way. Mm-hmm. Because they're the cinematographer, they're the director, they're the DP who's going to frame what you've done, but you've also got to give them the direction and give them what you want. And the way Tom King, like from a strictly comic book nerd, like, oh my God, what a beautiful layout decision. Mm-hmm. That was a masterpiece of comic books.
Oh no, it is. It is. And then when everything comes together, it is just it is
with the elevators. I didn't see you. You're not supposed to see me.
Right. Why'd you take the elevator? Like, it is.
Coming to this floor and break a window. I'm trying to be.
Right. And of course you get Lois, like, hi, I'm Lois. Hi, I'm Catwoman.
You must be Catwoman.
Right.
You must be Lois.
Oh, my favorite one is when there's a conversation with Lois basically saying to Clark, it's like Clark going, like, well, maybe she doesn't, are you worried about him? Are you worried about Catwoman finding out your identity? And she's having all these things. She's like, yeah, it's kind of your identity. Your secret identity is kind of silly anyway. But okay. And then you cut over to the Batman where Selena's going like, yeah, I know, it's Clark. Like,
no. She says Clark said, big guy who looks like Superman writes exclusively about Superman,
right?
And looks like Superman without his hair slicked back,
right?
I'm a thief.
It is absolutely hilarious. And again, that's after I guess what was it? Just two issues with Bruce and Selena confronting Talia in that Talia Selena
really
fight.
Poorly for Bruce.
Like it poorly for Bruce. Selena did way better. Like this might be a good match. like I'm actually. It's actually really good. And then the other thing too is really.
You know what it's done? It's made when they take it away from us, because guess what? They're going to take it away from us.
Yes.
It's going to be that much more painful. Well, because we've seen how good it can be.
Well, so here are a couple thoughts on that. One, if they don't take it away from us, that makes what we haven't put this episode up yet, but it makes what they did with Kate Kane even fucking worse, right? Like so you wouldn't let Kate marry her longtime girlfriend, but you're gonna let Bruce and Selena get married? Okay. What was the excuse then? Superheroes can't be happy.
That was actually the direct quote from DCEU.
So what are you guys doing?
In their defense, this is not a happy Batman. It's just a Batman who happens to be getting married.
Right. Oh shit.
It's a very depressed, like introspective, awesomely written Batman. Tom King, like, if you're listening to this, and why would you be? If comic books don't work out, you'd be a great therapist, sir. Because you've broken down this man who wears a bat-themed onesie. Like, let's be real. Like, it's a psychopath in the night, and you've made him not just relatable, but like human.
Right. No,
listening to Bruce and Clark talk about each other's upbringings.
No, that's the panel. That's the panel right there.
I was like, that's it. They get it. Like, he gets it. Everyone says they're so opposite, but they're the same.
Yep. Yeah. No.
And you really want to get down to it. That's the big secret of Batman and Superman.
Mm-hmm.
That they're the same.
Yeah. Yeah. They see each other as different, but they're
exactly. They see each other the way we see them, as completely different. But all this issue did was, like, when I read this, I texted my boys in Batman fans, I was like, yo, awesome issue of Batman. He read it. He didn't read it until after work. He texted me and says, well, that was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's nothing else to say.
Yep.
He gets it, and there's a way to get it.
Yep, absolutely. The the stream looked like it was working for a minute there, and I think I fucked up, but I ended it by accident.
That was the universal something going wrong noise.
All right, yeah. So I think I kind of fucked that up myself. Hold on, let me try to see if we can get that going again. But no, it's just fantastic. So there was that, and there was something else I was gonna say. With that, what the fuck? It was. Damn it! I lost my train of thought. I mean, it's just just the way they have that going right now is so good. Oh, I know what it was. Actually, it wasn't this, but it also we should bring it up. Quietly in the issue before, the thing that's really took out to me, other than the Bruce and Selena relationship, was Dick and Damian. Was done really well. And then,
that's one of the things that I'm really happy is that they're consistent across the comics, is that they've really captured the Grant Morrison run with Dick as Batman and Damian as Robin. We both praised it on this show ad nauseum, but this was another reminder that every time they put them together, every writer remembers it. They're like, at one point and it was a different issue, a different story arc, but it's Nightwing and Robin behind Lamberry. He says, "You want to go?" He says, "Dick, you're always my favorite Batman." He says, "I know."
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're so good together. And Tom King, because he's some sort of writing magician. Like, I honestly don't get it.
Yeah, no, what I loved about it was, like you said, it really goes back to, like, there's a moment in there, like, he says something, I know what it was. Dick is joking Damian about saying because he's Batman and I'm Robin, right? He's joking him about that statement.
That corny ass line.
Right. But it kind of reminded me also, at some point in their back and forth, it reminded me of that, the Batman and Robin can never die moment. And it's just, and he was like, yeah. And at one point, Dick hits him with well, yeah, because you're Robin and I'm Nightwing. And it's just like, it's fucking hilarious. It's so good. It works out so well, and like I said, I had to mention that now because it's just holy hell. If you're not reading the Batman run, like I said, consistently, Batman stays one of the better written DC books, and yeah, whew, there we go. So, at the end of this, we're going to obviously we're about to jump into these reviews for The Flash and for Legend of Tomorrow. But at the end, stick around. Dpalm's gonna fix the DCEU. He has some thoughts on that, and he's gonna fix it for him because
it's time to repair it. There's one way to do it.
And boy, do they need some repair. So yeah,
they just broke 200 mil domestically after 3 weeks. Isn't that adorable? Didn't Force Awakens take in 268 in a weekend? This is a throttling.
Yeah, I mean, Avengers did 200.
Reviews.
I mean, it just like it's embarrassing. Let's just call it what it is. It's embarrassing. Anyway, all right, let's get into this. So we're doing the mid-season finale for The Flash first. We got Don't Run, Season 4, Episode 9. Emunette kidnaps Caitlin and forces her to perform a tricky medical task, and the Thinker traps the Flash in a speedster-proof prison, which really is underselling what actually happens in this episode. But
you know what? I've come full circle on the synopsis, guys. Good on you. Don't tell me.
No, it's right. I'm fine with that. Like, I would rather you tell me absolutely fucking nothing or get it all fucking wrong than try to tell me give me everything and it should be bad. So no. I'm 100% with you on this one. Please do not tell me this stuff. Just stop. So no, I'm happy with that. So anyway, first things first. I'm pretty sure they reshot the opening for this to throw in that dig at.
No, there's no way. That's the other thing that we've got to give them credit for. There's like, as I was asking questions during this episode, they were answering in dialogue.
So the only reason why I say that they did reshoot the opening with like the throwing the shade at Oliver and Felicity is there was a deleted scene that they released before the episode with Barry and Iris coming in from their honeymoon. So that's the only reason why I was like, I kind of feel like they might have thrown it in there, but maybe they didn't. But like, I don't know. Like I said, here's the thing. I don't really care either way. But for those who were upset last week,
and they were out there.
Oh hell yeah, they were up there. So if they were out there, if you were upset, you got your. But here's the thing. All jokes aside, I think and. This goes back to something that I think we've said. I know a lot of black women have said this as well. The real problem that this exposes for The Flash, I think, and I think this goes across the board for the CW shows, Iris doesn't have any real friends. So what happened was you're forced to put
what?
Like she doesn't like we've never really seen Iris hang out with Felicity like that until like this season, and here's the thing, I'm fine with that. Here's the thing, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, she's a supporting character.
Right. No, you're right.
She is the friend of the Flash. That's her role.
Yes. So like I don't care.
People are asking for a lot from a 1 hour television.
Right. I don't care. I am just give me some. I'm trying to, so we don't get yelled at.
I'll be yelled at. I refuse to cater to bad opinions.
Yeah, I'm just saying the reason why I don't care is because you're right. She's a side character, so I don't need all that stuff. So I think people want her more fully formed. But if you look at all the leads who are just side, none of them have friends. Like, if you're being honest, Cisco doesn't have friends.
With after work.
Yeah, Cisco's friend. But that's the other thing, too. They've done a good enough job with some of the other characters to at least have them interact. But across the board, CW has always been kind of bad with their female characters outside of Legends. So, again, right, Cisco gets Harry to play off of all the time, and that's been their bond. Caitlin and Iris really don't have...
Her pairings with Barry. Her pairings with Barry. She doesn't just share him because he's the main character.
Right, exactly. And so I get it. So I'm just... You got your little dig. She's clearly upset by it. We can move on and forget about it. There we go.
As I literally had not thought about it until they showed it in the episode.
Yeah, I didn't care because I didn't care when it happened because I don't care enough about the relationships on the shows. I will say this: at first, I thought the knife was from Earbud, and I thought that would just been just.
Yo, you and I are so on our toes about Earbud.
I'm just saying.
We're always like, I thought he was gonna break her neck right there.
I'm just saying, like the knife. I mean, it would have just been it's a nice little dig, and then you're like, you put it all together at the end of the episode. You're like, oh, the thinker was just getting Barry's fingerprints on the knife that he was going to frame him with at the end.
He was thinking ahead,
right?
Like whatever, but
don't do that.
I think it's really, I really enjoyed the dialogue in that scene because they pointed out something that I've been thinking, like, why is he taking the long way to clean this shit?
Mm-hmm.
And then the speech he gave, we're getting closer to comic book Barry Allen.
Yes.
We're getting close to Barry. He's dye his hair blonde, whatever, get a crew cut, no big deal. Look, certain things will always bug me.
Hey, listen, paint the boots yellow. I mean, just saying.
Look, if he could just run through some yellow paint, just do it on the show to see what happens.
Okay, sidebar real quick. I don't know if it's just because I still have a bad taste in my mouth from seeing that suit on the big screen. But is it me, or are they making this Barry suit on the show look brighter red every episode?
Okay, it wasn't just me. I was like, this is mad bright.
It's okay, so it's not just me, right? Because it's like, I swear to God, every week I see the suit, and I'm like, why is it getting redder, and why are the lightning bolts getting more and more yellow? Like, it just seems like they're getting more.
Like even the accents on the suit were more yellow.
Yes, no, they are. They were never that yellow. Like, okay. Thank God it's not just me. Okay, I thought I was going fucking crazy. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I have been doing so much work for the site right now and for the podcast and trying to think of our future that I have not been sleeping as much as I need to be sleeping. So I thought I was going fucking nuts. I'm like, yo, why is the suit getting redder? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, it's looking better and better. And good. Now I'm confirmed. It's not just me. They are literally trolling the DCEU, and I'm pretty sure it's on purpose. Like, it's, whew, okay, good. Anyway, yeah, man. I really, so let's say the thinker for last, because there's so much to talk about with that. Let's just get back into, we got Katie Sackhoff back, and man, she's I enjoy her. Like, it's just,
she's a lot of fun, and I like that they added like the metatextual like acknowledgement of like everyone says Killer Frost is more interesting than me. Well, everyone says she's more fun. Well, she has powers. And she has Bobby Drake ice slides in her defense.
So right,
Bobby Drake doesn't do Bobby Drake ice slides. Goddamn, come home, X-Men. Anyway,
I'm just saying.
Sorry, that slipped.
I'm like, I enjoy. So I said this during the crossover. Like, I'm really enjoying what they're doing with Caitlin. I think they finally have found a place for Caitlin to, one, they're constantly using her medical expertise this season to really drive home the fact that, yes, she's really fucking smart too. They've made her into a useful person, and in this episode, she does everything herself and not using the Killer Frost persona, so that's great. But I also like the idea of what they've done with the Killer Frost persona, which is that, one, she's no longer just like, she's Killer Frost, but she's not actually a killer. She's not actually a bad person right now. Maybe she will be later on, but right now,
I like the flexibility they're giving her. You're right.
Right. It's just like the idea that they had, and I like the ideas that she doesn't know what Killer Frost does on that side. And before that was a bad thing, like, oh, it's a dynamic that we were always seeing, like, oh, well, Killer Frost is out there killing people or robbing or doing something evil, right? Now it's like, no.
She could just be in the library.
Yeah, no, it's like Killer Frost is just having insider jokes and is having all this is having a bunch of fun with the guys, and Caitlin feels left out. Like, that's more interesting to me.
I like the acknowledgement that it goes both ways, because if you remember, even the beginning of the crossover, when she turns into Killer Frost in the church, she says, "Where does she get all these clothes all the time? Right. Why am I always wearing this shit?"
So it's kind of funny because it goes back to the joke they made about the Incredible Hulk. It's the Incredible Hulk side of it, and you're just like, huh. Okay.
They really committed to that Hulk joke, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did. And it's really interesting and fun. And I like the idea that, Caitlin's kind of jealous because she's like, before I had to worry about coming out and Killer Frost has done something to break the law. Now I'm worried about it. She's just taking my friend because she's more interesting. She's more fun. But then you get that moment with Amunet with Katie Sackhoff, where she's like, listen, I kidnapped you, not Killer Frost, because I needed your skill set. It was kind of funny because she gave her this pep talk, but then like right afterwards, before you even got that time to go, oh, that was nice, she didn't threaten to kill her.
It's like, yeah, but if you don't do this, I'm gonna kill you. So let's get to work.
Right. So it was like, you know what? I'm not sure about
I like that because I think it could have come off as kind of hokey, but I think that both actors played it well enough that I was like, okay, I kind of bought it.
Right. No, so it and the way Sackhoff is playing, I mean, it kind of reminds me of the way Wentworth was playing Snart. Mm-hmm. Old Snart, not the new Snart. We'll get into that when we talk about Legend of Tomorrow. But it's like it's over the top. It's ridiculous, but you're still like, oh, but you can still, if you still wanted to, you could fucking kill.
It's engrossing. It's engaging. It is over the top, but it is also like very. There's a very real threat that she brings to the scene, which is good.
Right. Absolutely. So, and I'm also glad that. And this comes into the thinker part that they bring it all together, where you see that DeVoe had paid Amunet to get this one meta, and how they brought it all together. Because at first it seemed like it was two separate themes going on, and I like the way they did this because it made Iris have to choose, like, do you save Barry or do you go after and save Caitlyn? Well, you see that it was all connected anyway, and it all mattered. So, I really
love the idea as Iris as team leader, by the way.
So that's the other thing too that I really enjoyed in this episode too. Like, love Harry. I love Tom Cavanaugh first of all, but I just love Harry as the asshole. So him going, hey, listen, the reason why they're having so much problem, it's you. You're the problem. And at first you're like, wait a minute. How dare you? And then you're like, oh, you're saying she's the team leader and she's not doing anything. And he's right. Like, you're a team leader. You need to make a choice. You need to make a decision. What's the decision? Do you go after Caitlyn or do you go after Barry? You can't do both. You got to pick one. And she's like, well, I don't want to. Well, then that's the choice a leader has to make.
That's the game.
That's the game. And you know what? And it doesn't feel like it's forced to say that she had the leader because she was. Remember when Barry was in the Speed Force, it was Iris running the team. So, Iris, you're the leader. You have to do this. You have to, you have to get it done. So you have to make a decision. And I think that, particularly when we see what happens in this episode, that the show is finally getting around to finding a role for Iris. Like, they started off the first few seasons with her, being the reporter and trying to do that and it just wasn't working. So now what they decided to do was, fuck all that. We don't care about that. Don't try to make her a Lois Lane. Just put her into the team. Make her the team leader. Leave her there, and that's what she does now. And I think that's
for her.
It is. That's the best place for her. It's like it goes back to what we were saying before when we were joking about how, not really joking, we're serious. That, hey, look, I get that so many people want to see more Iris and want to have all of this story for her, but she's just a side character, and she is. But the show had to make a decision of, okay, if we want to give the fans what they want, because a lot of fans do want to see more Iris and want to see her have a role, what's the best way to do that? We can't sit here and have these little side stories that go nowhere. Because remember when they brought her boss in? It was that black guy, and then they went on that one date, and it never went anywhere. They never did anything with it. They've tried several times with trying to get her to show her working as a reporter and doing all this stuff. They've tried that, and it just doesn't work. It takes away.
The problem is by doing that, it's the whole separate and equal argument. By separating her from the team, it feels less important.
Exactly, and it never really ties in, and they never found a good way to tie her into the main story. So now it's like, fuck it. You know what? Forget all that. Just bring her into the team. Make her the operator.
It's the catcher who's like, hey, it's 3-2. Don't get cute. Just throw the fastball.
Right.
Put her at the team. Put her at the head of the team.
It's what Spider-Man Homecoming. She's the woman in the chair. She's the woman in the chair.
Exactly. Great reference.
Put it in. Hey, everybody, they keep making Marvel references. I have to do the same thing too. So
hey, motherfucker had a floating wheelchair. What up, Professor X in the 90s?
yo.
Like, I was like, well, that's 90s Prof X. Just paint that sumbitch gold and call it a day.
Oh my god, they just it was so good. So yeah, I think that works for them, and then solidifying her as the head. Because again, look, if this was a stronger show, then I would be all for a more well done relationship and how they handle her having her own little storyline on this. It's not that kind of show. It's fucking
This show's about villain of the week,
right.
Overarching story. Everything that happens on the show will service the main story in the end.
There's a reason why this
show's brother showing up at any point was so they could take him away.
Right. You know, and
Caitlin's mom, same idea.
Right. You know, and so like that's what they have to do. Like I said, the only reason why, you know, Felicity and Oliver work is because Felicity's she's the woman in the chair too. It's like it's that. Like that's the only thing that works for them, and just keep it there. Like keep it simple, stupid. Let's do it that way. There's something. Speaking of that, I think you mentioned brother. I love the quick Wally West reference about Cambodia, and they're going to put him on the Titan show, aren't they?
They might. I think he'd be better on Legends. I'm going to bang that drum till we're done. But I do like the fact that a young man with super speed probably wouldn't be staying in Blue Valley, fucking Kansas, or Nebraska, excuse me.
Yeah, probably not.
He's still in Blue Valley? No, Cambodia. He's seeing the world. He's doing what you would do if you had no responsibilities and superpowers.
Right.
Wasn't he in college?
I mean, when you have super speed.
I'm not saying you should go back. I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, I think he was, but it's just like, you know.
Hey, life had other plans.
Live your best life, Wally. Live your best life.
Yo, you only get one.
Yeah, I'm with you on the. I think, and we'll talk about this when we get to Legends. There's clearly a spot has opened up right now on the Legends.
Well, depending on how long,
right.
certain someone stays.
Right. But even then, I think you can still get you can still add because you technically lost 2, so and you might lose 3 to tell you the truth.
Did you lose 2?
You didn't because you gained start for a while. So there's that. Well, I mean, if we're going off of acting ability, you lost probably like 1.5.
1.5. That's what I was about to say. That was the joke I was about to go with.
So,
hey man, oh man, Victor Garber.
Hey man,
someone's like, Chris and Dpalm had like a 3-week Victor Garber fan cast. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. All right, so let's get into DeVoe and the Thinker, and it. First of all, just we'll get into the get out moment later on because I was just like, God damn it, guys, what is with the show and you guys? Like, if you're a black man on the CW shows or either Flash or the Legends tomorrow, you're gonna get kidnapped. And just letting you know, like, you are the kidnapped victim. You are the white Becky running through the woods of of Crystal Lake in heels. Like, that is what you are. If you are a black man on Flash or Legends tomorrow, you're getting kidnapped and something bad's gonna happen to you. It's just that's what you are. Yeah, I like the fact that we picked up. I mean, we're mid-season finale, so we know we're finally getting the idea what DeVoe is after now. So at first, I thought he was trying to take Barry and transfer himself into Barry's body because his brain's operating at a higher speed. Barry, with his, not just his. We think of him running, but it's also just his metabolism's faster. Everything's about him is faster. Maybe DeVoe's thinking that in order to keep his mind going, that's what he's trying to do. I'm now thinking that he just used part of Barry's speed. He captured it some kind of way for his chair to transfer.
No. He used Barry. He just needed Barry off the board. He's going to find another way to free him. If Barry frees the telepath, then old girl ends up in jail.
Got you. Okay. So they took me for a while. I thought it was another one of those. He's after your speed again.
Yeah, but I like that was the expectation. Even Barry's like, you're after my speed. It's what it is. It's the moment from X-Men 1 when Magneto shows up in the subway and has Wolverine and says, "What do you want with me?" He says, "What makes you think I'm here for you?"
Right. No, it's great. It's great.
It's just a really good subversion of because excuse me. This show's trained us to think speed's the key, and just like this show decided to kind of reboot, I'm glad this is where they decided to take a left turn from the old formula because it's super interesting. Because now we're dealing with a foe you can't punch or throw in jail, and now one that can read your mind.
Well,
and Barry, for as fast as he's been, like we said, 2 steps behind this entire season.
Well, not only that, but it's just like you said, it's this season of The Flash is, and I think all of the Arrowverse does a really good job of this. They've done a good job of correcting past mistakes. And like I said, if you think about it, the last 3 villains have all been about speed. All been about either taking Barry's speed or Barry getting faster or some kind of thing like that. In this case, it's, okay, not trying to steal a speed. I just want you off the board. I want you, so now he's not off the board now for stopping the transfer. What was his name? He transferred him into, was it Dominique? He's Brainstorm, but was it the guy's name Dominique? I think it was Dominique.
Dominic, yeah.
But now we have the trial of Barry Allen. Like, Barry's not going to be able to go after and stop DeVoe now because
Flash is off the board.
Completely off the board. So
this is the most brilliant plan that's ever been put against the Flash.
Well, this is the first time, if you think about it, Barry's lost in a way that you're like, you can't just power through this. You know? Because I was seeing some people say, hey, well, you know, like in the end of the episode, when you see Barry kind of start charging up the Speed Force, and it's like, I'm gonna go and, you know, I'm gonna get out of this. You're like, wait a minute. There's too much evidence. Like, there's the knife. I'm not going to be able to get everything.
Clean it up, but you got to think that the thinker would have thought of that. And that's
exactly.
Really, I know that was. I apologize. That was annoying when I said it. But like, why are the cops there? Somebody, maybe DeVoe and his new body, maybe his wife, called and said, "I think Barry Allen took my husband."
Right.
Or I heard a ruckus from the Allen place.
Right. So it's like it was a complete, you know, it's
a great frame.
Right. He beat. I mean, not saying he didn't throw a punch or not, because they did actually have a little fight in the air and stuff like that. But he truly beat Barry without throwing a punch at him. Like, he won. And then walked away. He literally walked away. You know, and there's nothing Barry can do about it. You know, and I'm really interested in seeing how this goes, because again, it goes back to what we've said before. This is an interesting way of pulling things from the comics, but changing it. You know, we're about to get the trial of Barry Allen,
right?
Which in the comic was Barry on trial for killing Earbud. Here, he's going to be in trial for killing DeVoe, even though technically this isn't DeVoe, and technically he didn't kill anybody. You know, here where he definitely killed Thawne. He definitely did that shit. But here, they're changing up a little bit, but I think it gives you, in this case, I think it's going to be, it's updated for modern times, and I think it's going to be a really interesting way of, and you even saw in the preview a little bit, they're probably not going to do it, but it's like they're going to be flirting with the idea of just come clean that you're the Flash, Barry. You know, and that'll be interesting. Like I said, this is going to be one of those things where Barry's going to have to slow down a bit to beat his enemy. Where every other season has been go faster, go faster, go faster. This
Run,
season,
Barry, runs basically the catchphrase of the show.
Right. This is going to be you have to go slow, and that kind of goes down to what happened at the very end when he's about to run. He's about to do everything he can run, and he decides not to, and he just stays there. Cause like you said, he realizes that this round is won. Like, if I try to clean it up, there's going to be something else that I didn't see. I can't outrun this. I need to stand. Or let's
say there was another plan. You've created the situation as a restraining order against a man in a wheelchair. The situation is so tenuous that his name's already been dragged.
Right. So I'm definitely interested in seeing how they go with that. And Yeah. Somebody text me. Oh, yeah. So I'm trying to see what else was happening in this episode.
Let me see. Cisco, not a breakup cube.
Ooh, definitely not a breakup cue. Make sure you watch that in your own home. You don't want to, you don't
want to. That's not public consumption.
Not a public thing here.
I like the fact that this is our first midseason beatdown of Barry that didn't involve him being sped through the city. They said, but now he's on a flying chair, which was interesting. And I love the fact that I get to look like an idiot and flotation mode works. Cisco was right. We need shirts. Which, again, Cisco, T-shirt, T-Rex game. The T-shirt game, very strong in today.
Very, very, very strong here. I'm trying to think of something. There's something else I was going to say. Oh, man.
I like the Disney stuff.
See, I hate Dip. No,
I hate Disney, but at least like they advanced the character.
No. So you're right. You're right. They fixed it.
They gave us a lot. Yeah. That's more than anything else.
No, they fixed it at the end, but I do have to say this. Please stop with the Microsoft Surface. They're
That's
so
not
annoying.
Going to stop.
They're not going to stop. I know
Chris,
they're not.
Do you like having the show on television?
I know. I'm just
all right.
saying.
Let's roll with the Microsoft Surface. I'm going to buy one.
Fuck. I'm not.
And tell them the Flash is why you bought it.
Oh, God, they're so corny and so annoying. Oh, God, just stop that shit.
See, and that's why I like watching. I watch on the app the next day. I did tonight.
No, you're smart. You're smart. You're very,
I don't get the
very
Microsoft Surface ad. I do get one other ad that when I'm not thinking about it, I can't remember what it is. But when it's on, it drives me to a fit of rage. Like I'm literally trying to remember.
Well, so I think this is the problem with the ad. Don't they show the same ad over and over and over again?
Oh my God! And watching Flash and Legends back to back almost gave me an aneurysm.
Yeah, that is the worst thing. It's like I don't know what's worse: getting an annoying ad here and there, or getting the same ad that's not really annoying, but getting the same ad over and over again. That by that time you're in the episode, you're literally repeating it. You're just like, what the fuck, man?
I can just quote the whole ad. There's a share the love in your heart is a big thing. Subaru's giving $250 for every new Subaru purchase before the end of the year towards something. I hate it so much.
Oh man. Oh goodness grace. Let's see. So we got I think that's. I mean, like I said, I'm really interested in seeing how the season is going. I think they've done a great job. It's not like last season we were kind of like, all right, how are you guys gonna pull this around? How are you gonna end it? We don't. And unlike last season, we now know what the end game was. What part of, I guess the first part of the end game for DeVoe was. Like he's got it now.
The thing is, we don't know end game. We know current game.
You're right. We got phase one.
In the midseason last year, we knew end game was killing Iris.
We got
the entire backside knowing what's coming next.
Right
now, I have no fucking clue.
Right. I'm sorry. We got phase one. We have no idea what phase 2 and 3 are. We have no idea where they're going with this.
Just the plan's working so far.
Oh, absolutely. And
it's all going according to plan.
Holy hell, did it work? Holy hell,
man.
Jesus Christ. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting seeing how that Barry's now, a criminal like his father. Once again, I didn't do it. Sure, Barry. Okay, sure. Mm-hmm.
Where are the fathers in that community?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's a real travesty to watch that community fall apart.
I'm just saying this white on white crime is killing me, man.
It's hard to watch.
I don't know. It's almost like they're they just can't help themselves. So
I just wish they'd take some personal responsibility for what's going on in their community.
I'm just saying, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, hey, I didn't have anything handed to me.
Right. If I had speed, I'm just saying.
Look, you have all the advantages in the world.
All right, just doesn't understand to me. All right,
let's can't stop killing people. Them Allen boys.
All right, like I was telling people. Wait, actually, let me see if I think we might have had a. You know what? I'll do. So we're doing something new this time, guys. We're actually combining this episode. It's going to be one episode on the feed. I'll make sure that we put into the show notes where if you guys are only listening for some reason, if you watch Legend of Tomorrow but don't watch The Flash, then put in the show notes when we started that and when we stopped it. So I will do I think we have some. Yeah, I do have one. Actually, I have two. And we have two for The Flash. So I'm going to go ahead and read the Flash ones now, and then we'll get into Legend of Tomorrow. So here's the first email for The Flash. It's like, yo, was that Reverse Flash's gift to Barry? See? It's not just us. It wasn't just us. The same night they killed his mom, he is cold fucking blooded. That's all I had to say about the episode. Oh, I'm glad to see that they showed Iris was pissed about Felicity interrupting their wedding. So it wasn't earbot thon, but I'm so glad that me and Dpalm weren't the only ones that thought that.
I'm glad we got everyone else on their toes so that we can mitigate some of the disasters that are going to happen when it happens.
We're rubbing off on people. I like that.
If you're scared, that means you're prepared.
All right.
Shit, let's go.
If you can dodge a heartbreak, I'm just saying.
You can dodge a ridge, you can dodge a heartbreak.
From Hayden, just a few quick thoughts on this week's episode. God damn it. That might be the show title now. If you can dodge a ridge, you can dodge a heartbreak. Hold on, I gotta write this shit down. This is what happens when we don't actually prep for anything.
Any of it. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god, this is just terrible. All right, second email. Every time I see the thinker, all I see is Metron. Let's see.
Ah, good. There you go.
Yeah. He actually has the image in here. I wish I could put it up there. I don't know if anybody can see. I don't know if you guys can see it in the live stream. We're live streaming right now. I'm trying to see if this can actually work. Let's see. I feel some sort of way about Ammunition selling a black guy. Don't care about the Weeper. No, you're right. You're right. I said if you're a black guy on the Flash and the Legend tomorrow, you are not having a good season. I'm just saying. Did the thinker? So again, I was gonna make this joke before, but I'm glad somebody else did it. Did the thinker pull a Dr. Ock on Brainstorm? Is he gonna start calling himself Superior Brainstorm? Love all the shows. Peace. Yeah, they're really committing to the Spider-Man thing right now. So yeah. I between that and not just that, but the arm he coming out of the chair kind of remind me of Dr. Ock too. It's like, I don't know, man. I'm feeling some kind of way about the way CWTV.
I'm okay with the arms. How the fuck else is he going to interact with the world? He's in a chair.
No. I have no problem with that. I'm just saying I feel some kind of way about them seeming to lean heavily in like tag team with Marvel. And not their own movie universe. That's all.
What movie universe? They're pretending it doesn't exist like we all should. What this is telling us is that the Marvel's cinematic universe's success is a universal constant. Don't fight it, world. Embrace it.
We're going to find... I'm making this joke now, but the way things are going, we're going to find out Disney's going to buy Warner Brothers.
Yo. And then it'll be 6 months of Spider-Man dunking on Superman covers.
Right. Oh, man. All right, let's get into Legends of Tomorrow, Season 3, Episode 9. Beebo, the God of War. God damn it.
These sons of bitches.
The Legends investigator.
Literally them saying, we can do anything.
God, they did.
This is their Guardians of the Galaxy.
Vikings literally thought a fucking Tickle Me Elmo was a goddamn god.
I have no words.
I got no words. The legend investigated an anachronism in the Viking settlement in the New World and realized the Norsemen are worshiping an artifact as their god. An artifact. It was basically a Tickle Me Elmo. Fucking Tickle Me Elmo. What the fuck, man? Like, no, you're absolutely right that this is them. Like, what? And this is what they knew. So the thing about the show is, they knew they couldn't carry this for the entire episode.
Oh yeah.
So
because I remember looking down like that was fast as shit.
Well, I knew one. I knew one. If it was gonna be fast as shit, I'm like, oh, well, that means the rest of the episode is gonna get horrible.
Take a real hard left turn.
You're gonna take a real hard left turn, but also just like, there's no way you can go an entire episode with that fucking Beebo doll and be that serious going into a mid-season finale. They know. They knew they couldn't do that. So, but god damn it, man, did they try? And it's just first. Leo Snart, the therapist.
Leo Snart, who could have been killed in the first 15 minutes as he took Mick's beer.
Listen, man, there's a lot of things. I am okay with a lot of things, but the minute that you start telling the Wave Rider to change the alcohol content of the
a jury in the multiverse would have convicted.
That's just going too far, man. Like,
way too far.
I mean, I was even okay with the Stein doll. He pulled out.
I wasn't okay with the Stein doll. All the say that now.
Like when he had it out, when he was talking to Jackson, I was like, hey, come on, bruh. Come on. There's no way. You know that's not good. That's not going to, you can't do that. Stop. Don't do that. But I like the idea of, because again, and it goes with this whole entire episode. They start off so light at the beginning, but then things get so much serious as the episode go on. Like let's take, let's do the Leo and Mick thing up front. Like that starts off with just like banter between these two. Leo just annoying the ever living shit out of Mick and fucking with him. Like, oh, you didn't have a drinking problem, then you have no problem not having any alcohol for 24 hours, right? And you're just like, this is annoying as shit. But then when you break down, you see that he's just like Mick was having a hard time getting over losing Snart. This Leo is having a hard time. He's now seeing his old friend back.
Right.
And he thinks he can get that friend back. And this episode is basically realizing that no, we're two different people. Like we can still be friends and stuff like that, but you're not my Mick. You're not the guy I knew. I can't make you to that person anymore.
The whole lesson of the episode is you can't go back.
Right. You have when you had Jefferson and the young Stein.
And Marty.
Yeah, Marty. He still call it did kind of feel kind of weird him still calling young Marty like I think you're older than him, Gray. I'm like,
no, he's not older than Marty. Marty's got a kid, a wife, and 2 PhDs.
Well, I mean, he is
from a strict timeline perspective. There's no way for that.
True. You're right.
Jack's like 19.
You're right. I keep forgetting about that.
They don't tell us often, but Jack's he's a high school football star.
Yeah, I forgot that Stein basically kidnapped a high schooler.
Another black man getting kidnapped.
Well, see, that's why they had to write him off. This is why they had to write Victor Garber off the show. See, kidnapping a young black kid. I'm just saying, it's not.
No,
in this day and age, it's not
money in the world to keep Victor Garber on this damn show. I think that the Beebo thing was really interesting, especially like the Beebo Day and the Odin Day. I liked that little wrinkles because it made, like you said, there's a lot of emotional heft that happens in this hour.
Mm-hmm.
And by pairing it with something that's on its face kind of ridiculous, it's the balance we always talk about Legends having.
Right. And then the other thing, too, what was great about it is because the anachronism was so large, it was a 12. And we've seen them deal with, they were fucking up with smaller anachronisms. And you see them take on this 12, and you're like, what the hell's going on? And you realize it's not, because up front, we're all like, okay, it's Jefferson that's grieving. Everybody else is kind of like okay and handling it. It's okay. You find out that it's not just Jefferson. Like the entire
Sarah
team
knows it from the jump. Sarah's like, yo, we're fucked up.
Yeah, they're all.
I think she's an assassin. She's seen groups of people deal with grief.
Exactly. So they're all dealing with it, and they're not handling it well. You know what's funny though? I think this team does better. You ever hear that thing was like it's like that thing that happens in movies sometimes where the guy only like he's at his best when he's drunk. It's like this team at their best when they're fucked up because they technically worked out pretty well. Like they had some fuck ups here and there, but like this was.
Well, I think you're right because they have to focus.
Yeah, they focus. They double down. Like when everything's going their way, they're cocky and they get lazy and they get sloppy. But when they're late, when they're upset and when things are really going down and something's going on with them, they get laser focused because they basically do like Sarah. They're the product of their leader, and that's what Sarah does. Like Sarah told them, was like, listen, take your emotions, put them in a little box, lock it up, throw away the key. And I love that Leo was sitting there going, that's terrible advice, But that's how they work. When they do that, they focus and they end up doing what they need to do, and they get it done. And so, yeah, they had fuck ups here, but they worked out pretty well. Even down to the end when they were trying to take out Dark, and they were actually worked out the plan down to Sarah going by herself to, okay, we need to do this and we need to do this.
That was a really cool directorial decision.
Yo, awesome decision. I love how done. I love how they worked that out.
I also let them stretch the episode a little bit because let's be real, it was a little short.
No, it was. You know, like this was, and this is what I was worried about when they went through the Beebo thing. I was like, you can't do Beebo the entire episode. I mean, it's funny, but you can't do Beebo the entire episode. It's not going to work. And then when they stopped that, and then I'll admit this, like the episode does feel a little disjointed because of it. Because at one point you're just like, okay, where did the Dark in them come from? Like, I'm still trying to figure out. So
well, clearly, and I think they kind of touched on it when Jefferson was talking to them, saying that there's clearly a plan.
Right.
Somehow they're able to root their the changes and tie it into the legends.
Yes.
I don't know if that's making them harder to detect for the Time Bureau or easier for the. I don't know how it's going to work out, but there's clearly a larger architecture at play.
And we've been noticing that. I think we talked about this, maybe not on the crossover episode, but I think we taled about it right before with the last Legend episode, because it was the second, like it was Nate who had figured out one time that there's kind of a pattern here, and then they brought it up again this episode. And you're absolutely right. It's like they keep and it kind of goes back to what I was saying in that episode, that is part of this thing going to be that they're trying to get the Legends to kind of write themselves out of history. Because Jefferson almost did it himself this episode.
Yeah.
Giving that note to Stein. Like, Jefferson, it almost worked this episode for them. Like, right when Stein dies, they happen to have an anachronism that captures and deals with the younger Stein. And then Jefferson runs into him and clearly has an emotional connection, and something happens with that. Like, what's going on here? We'll get into who shows at the end, but he kind of mentions that because one person we haven't had one that's connection to yet was Sarah. Next episode, when we come back, seems to be connected to Sarah. So it's like all these anachronisms are tied to the Legends in some kind of way. Why? You know, and unlike the Flash, where hey, we don't know what the end game is with DeVoe, but we've seen his plan come into focus, and we've seen him at least his first phase work. We don't really know right now with the Legends what's going on. We don't know what Mullis is trying to do, even though we get a little bit more with it. We don't see him this episode, but we get that one where Sarah gets pulled in and has us just talk with him. We still don't know really what the end game is. We don't know what's going on. We know that Dark is pulling in these other anachronisms and things like that. Like he put Grodd in China. Like I'm curious to say, any other show, it would have been a little bit of a racist drawing. just a little bit of racist with the giant gorilla attacking the Great Wall of China. Just saying, just a little bit of racism right there, guys. Kind of missed the boat on that one, but yeah, it's like there's clearly something going on. Like why did Dark and his daughter show up at that point, and him pretending to be Odin? Like, what is going on? Where's the rhyme and reason? There's got to be a rhyme and reason behind it.
Somehow.
Right. Something's going on. Like, because here's the thing: if it was just about trying to get the Vikings to take over North America, why did they even need the anachronism, and why did they even need Beebo? They could just had Dark show up as Odin. Like, what? I don't understand. So
why only after they fix it did Dark come break it more, or is them fixing anachronisms creating a situation, or is Dark using them to track anachronisms?
Right. Or is that how Mullis is getting out? Like, we don't really know right now going into this. Like, this is one of the shows
I think that's we got to hint that today,
right,
or during this episode.
Right. It's like
you get the tear in space when Dark uses powers that Sarah fell through.
Right.
You remember, Dark has his powers when he has a totem.
Yes.
When he has a touchstone. If the touchstone now exists outside space and time as this whatever primordial evil of Mullis, that's a problem for the Legends.
Absolutely. So, also, Ava and Sarah is definitely happening. When she said,
"Oh, you mean the girl that Sarah will eventually not call back?" Yeah, that's happening. This ends with Sarah like honestly, I just my phone wasn't on. I don't tell you, I didn't get those texts.
I need a supercut of all the times Katie Lost perks up when another female character hints at them not liking men or not liking exclusively men, because she has the best look and eyebrow she gives.
Wait, what was it this time?
No, because when they're at the dinner table and they're talking to the Vikings, and one of the Vikings, they're drinking the male Vikings on the table. One of the male Vikings goes, "Is like, where are your husband?" And she goes, just throwing a line, "I'm not really the husband type." And Sarah's face at that moment is like, it's the same face she gave Alex when she said that she broke up with her girlfriend. It's just like, oh, word.
No, you know what that face is? That's Jordan Crunch. I got this. Baseline jumper. They can't stop that. Turnaround looks good. Like, not even early Jordan. Early Jordan was just like aggressive and athletic. This is like late season Jordan, who's just got the mental game on.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take it back. You know, no. It's Kobe.
Nah, Kobe was doing a Jordan impersonation.
No, I know, but that's why. Because it's the snake. It's the Mamba. It's the snake like look of, you want to do some sneaky ass shit right now. Like Jordan, because I'm going to say it was LeBron, but LeBron and Jordan, they're too upfront about it. Like, you know that shit's coming.
They'll tell you.
Right, they'll tell you. Kobe, you're like, that nigga's too quiet. What are you doing over there, yo? And that's
but
what
the thing is, with Kobe, it's always the same thing, because you know he's gonna shoot, just like Sarah. You can do like she looks sneaky, but you know she's just gonna shoot.
Oh yeah.
It always is them just shooting. Like,
that shot is being we're shooting that shot
going up. Like, whether or not you want to stop it, that's fine. But like, the shot is going up.
Yeah.
Don't worry about sagging off the guy at the 3-point line. He'll never see this basketball. No passing.
Yeah.
Just shot.
I'm gonna shoot that shot. But we're playing football. The shot is going up.
Shot is up. What do you want me to do?
Right. It's not even the right sport. Like, I don't care.
That's on y'all. Y'all are playing the wrong sport then.
Oh man. Anything else with this episode? We got the end. Constantine.
Oh, I was good. Constantine. Yeah, sure.
Because I was like, oh, okay. Jax is gone. I didn't think Jax was going to leave. But I guess I don't know. I'm
probably for the best. It's just, I mean, like,
if we don't have
him being exposed. He has a future as a young man. He can go out there and act, get some jobs. Maybe he can join Victor Garber on Broadway. But like, yeah, we're done here.
Once there's no Victor Garber, there's no point in having you around. There's no Firestorm. I mean, what are you going to be? You just make him the engineer.
Here's some notes of mine before we get to the finale. Ray. Jesus is the one true God, which doesn't mean science isn't real, or global warming, also real. And then, look, I played a lot of Mortal Kombat. Jax is the Zangief of Mortal Kombat. Like, no one mains Jax, but Jax playing as Jax, nice touch. Really nice touch.
Yeah, not bad.
I love that the Time Bureau gave up.
Oh, like, yeah.
We can't fucking.
It's like, well, again, it goes back to explaining why the legends exist. It's like, the Time Bureau was never going to be able to do this. It's like, yeah, we just can't do this. So what, you're going to let the anachronism go? I mean, yeah. Well, then what the fuck is what are you doing? They're fucking Rex Tillerson's fucking State Department. That's what they are, yo. Not getting anything done. It's like, well, we tried, and I don't know what's going on. So.
My last two notes were, this show's the best show on television because when young Marty took aim with that arrow, they played that fucking arrow music. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, man, you assholes. And the second thing was, I want to say this, like, and I don't know how it snuck up on me, and I guess we've kind of noticed it every week. I was sneaky touched by like the party that they formed. Because what the show's done is a really good job. They've taken this like these literal offcasts and outcasts and offshoots of other series, threw them on a ship, and made us care.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like when he says you're a bunch of B-list superheroes and failed bank robbers, I was like, holy shit, he's right. Which, by the way, in case you don't realize it, Firestorm was a fucking super friend. He's talking down to all of them, and he's right.
Right.
He's like, you're a bunch of losers, know-nothings, couldn't hold a solo books, motherfuckers. Oh, and also a villain. I'm Firestorm, JLA member. Like,
Right.
I don't get it.
I can listen. I turned a bomb into candy at one point. Come on.
Yo, I can turn bombs into candy. At one point in, I think it was, I forget whose run it was. It's during the,
Shit in this show.
Right.
He absorbed like the first. At
one point in Justice League, there's a bunch of fires going on in the earth or around the earth, and he says, "What if I just turn one into the Earth's crust in the water?" And everyone looks like, "Yo, you can do that?" And they're like, "Well, yeah." You're like, "I'm really glad you're on this team so we can watch your stupid ass."
Oh my god! Well, I think in season 2 he absorbed a fucking nuclear bomb. I'm just saying.
Yo, Firestorm is scary powerful.
I think why they had to get him off. So, but no, I'm not gonna lie though.
And by the way, Jax with that sword, when everyone had powers, I was like, "Yo, Jax, you got to go."
Yeah.
Or still Ray's suit or something. Get Ray the real Adam suit. You can take this bootleg Iron Man shit.
Or give him fucking Rip's gun or something. I mean, at least Rip had a gun.
Let's be real. He's coming back.
Who? I mean, Jax. Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Somebody needs to take care of the engines.
No, he's gonna save the day, and one of those big ass humor moments, like the only family I have is lost it. Like some great line like that, or there's gonna be a great hero moment, and hopefully, just hopefully, when they do kill Leo or Leo leaves, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, the cold gun goes to someone who knows what to do with it.
Oh yeah. I mean, Leo is leaving. So, which by the way, I love that scene where they throw Mick on the fire. One, Mick didn't really give a shit because it's fire, and then. And the most obvious...
I thought was weird because I thought they cured his, like, I guess they didn't cure his pyromania, but I guess they cured his, like, self-harm in the episode of this. Because let's be real, also, each time they've had to deal with their past selves, it's helped the legends.
Yeah, no, I think...
grown as people.
No, absolutely. I don't think they cured his self-harm. I think they...
cured his self-harm, they didn't cure his pyromania.
Yeah, I think they cured his feelings for his dad. And I think we're going to see a ramifications of him telling, like, he might have we might see him start remembering having good times with his dad, which is going to be weird because he didn't, and he does now because of what he told his dad when he left. But I love when Snart pulled out the cold gun real quick and put the fire out, and like, it's a miracle. It's just like, guys, it was so fucking odd.
Beebo wants him to live. Also, it was that blue stream of light that seemed to have hit the fire before it went out. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, weird. Interesting.
They were so focused on the falling man and didn't notice the fire. Look, stretches we have to accept, all right? At least the cold gun's acting like a fucking cold gun.
Hey, small victories.
I'll take that win.
So, but yeah, I'm just saying, give while Jax is gone and doesn't have a cold gun, let's go ahead and bring Wally on real quick for a little short run, a little bit. Why not? Or who knows how long Matt Ryan's going to be? I have not looked it up. I know some people might know. I don't know how long Matt Ryan's going to be on as Constantine. Shows up at the end of the episode, and It's one of those things that, Shannon and I reviewed Constantine, and it wasn't bad, but it also wasn't that good. But Ryan was great as Constantine. And so, CW has too many shows now, but I would definitely love this. You can tell that they're trying to keep him around to do something with, because he's been Constantine before on Arrow. He's now on Legend of Tomorrow real quick. He voiced Constantine in Justice League Dark. So they clearly want to use Matt Ryan. And I don't know, maybe this will be another feeler for them trying to bring the show back, because I really wish that they were able to do what CBS, what CW did for Supergirl with CBS. Like, I really feel like the Constantine show could have done wonders under somebody else. Like, I know at one point they were testing out, seeing if we could get on Sci-Fi, and I think it would have done really well there. If they had put it on the Sci-Fi channel, I think the Sci-Fi channel would have done a really good job with Constantine. So who knows? Maybe this will bring that up again. We'll see. We'll see what the episode's like when they come back from break. When do they come back from break?
That's till January. I don't think midway through.
Yeah, they don't have the date yet. So we'll see. But Yeah, so that is it for Legends of Tomorrow. I don't think we got any emails for them. Do you have anything else you want to say about Legends of Tomorrow?
Nope, that was about it.
All right. So if you're in the live stream with us right now, first of all, thank you guys for watching. I know this is I'm gonna be playing around with this. This is literally a last minute thing. You guys did not miss an announcement. Dpalm literally got on. I was like, "Hey, I think we're gonna go live." He's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Just
no, I wasn't even that. We talked for 10 minutes, and then by the way, we're going live. Like,
I did do that. I was just like, I'm testing things out. So yeah, it was just a last minute thing of me playing with some stuff. So we'll be working on this. I kind of want to do the Facebook Live stuff, and then I'll put up videos on YouTube later on. But we'll see how this works. But you guys have a treat. We started with some stuff before the episode, before we did the reviews, and we're going to end with Dpalm fixing the DC Extended Universe.
All right, DC. I don't like you. You don't like me. But I love your characters. I just hate what you've done to them. The thing I recognize about Marvel is that they leaned into the comic booky nature, the very essence of why we read, and said, I bet that's why they'll watch. And lo and behold, they do. To the tune of the most watched trailer or YouTube video in 24 hours in the history of the world.
It was like 230 million views.
It was absurd.
It was to be fair, it was across social media, so it wasn't just YouTube. But still, if you go to look at the YouTube, if you look at the official, like look at Marvel's channel, DC channel, Warner Brothers channel, and stuff like that, they still had, out of all the trailers this year for super, way above everybody else.
It's obscene.
Yeah, 230 million views, and then 24 hours. That was 24 hours. 230 million.
Let's just learn a lesson. And I'm not going to get into the structural reasons as to what things you need to do or how you need to organize or who needs to be in charge. Because honestly, I'd just say I would honestly throw $1 billion at Kevin Feige and say, save us. That's exactly what I do. Because guess what? Since Warner Brothers owns DC, it's actually a similar structure. It could be he could build you the structure that it takes to be successful, but you'd never do that because you have too much pride. But what you should do is take a lesson from the book and go full comic booky. And I'm not talking like hokey Legion of Doom type shit. I'm talking epic. I'm talking big, because the best thing DC does is big fucking stories. Because everyone in that universe is some iteration of Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman. They're the primary colors. Everything else happens in between. So you can take a lot of characters. If you want to do large group scenes with large characters, you could do that. You can visually communicate what these characters represent, even if you don't have to introduce all of them. Why am I saying tell a big story? Because crisis. It's a word they threw around in Justice League quite haphazardly, if you ask me. Red skies shouldn't have been used. You need to save something. Save something. But if you're going to do it, let's do a real crisis. Let's do DC. Just call it crisis. And instead of one Batman, you've got every Batman. Yeah, Christian Bale for a scene or two. Bring in Keaton. Digitally insert Adam West. Let's get real about this. And then at the end of the movie, whatever story you want to tell, you go to all these versions of all these. The multiverse is at war with itself. However, you want to go anti-monitor, you want to just go dark side. I honestly think you should go dark side. That way you can play Apocalypse as a villain to all 50 universes and not just ours, but whatever you want to do. Hey, I'm trying to do the big picture here. But the way you end it is you consolidate a new timeline. And that way, you're recasting Ben. You can recast Superman if you want to. You can create a universe that feels wholly informed, and you can tell stories anywhere throughout that timeline going forward. But it also opens up the other idea that you and I have talked about, Chris. The idea that why are we fighting to tell these stories in one continuity?
Right.
Tell us give me 10 Batman movies over the course of 10 years with 10 different Batmen. Tales of the Dark Knight.
But that's interesting. That's always been the thing about DC. It's like, it's something that so my YouTube series on where Warner Brothers fucked up is coming out, and it's so funny that what Dpalm's talking about right now. The number 10 is they didn't start with the Justice League film, and they didn't start big. They could have. Everybody says they should have started small individual films, build up. No,
I'm all for. By the way, I support the small movement.
It definitely could have done it.
But once you decided to go big, go fucking big.
Right,
Don't
go
Steppenwolf.
right.
Don't go Steppenwolf.
Right, you gotta, if you're gonna go big, go big. The problem, here's the thing: it's not that they did one or the other; it's that they try to do both at the same time, and it's like they went both big and small at the same time, and it just made a big fucking mess. But anyway, like the thing about even DC in the comic books is that's DC. That's their story. Like DC, yes, they have the main continuity, the main story, stuff like that. But so many people end up reading and falling in love with stories that are outside of continuity. And that's a big thing. It's a big selling point for them. And that's fine. But instead of trying to make that instead of trying to combine them all into one story and tell one confusing storyline, which is what they've been trying to do with the DCEU, like you said, let's make basically one-off, individual stories. Like, it's the one thing, feel however you want to feel about the Dark Knight trilogy and Nolan. Nolan always said that was only supposed to be a three story
He had a story
film.
to tell.
He had a story to tell. That was it. And for not just Warner Brothers, but so many other fans have been like, no, fold it all in. They could have kept going. It's like, no. The whole point of that was
doesn't work in a world with Superman.
Right. The whole point of that story was to tell that one small story in that one universe alone, and that's fine.
About a cop who wears a bat suit.
Right, and you can tell another one that's no, it's fine, and that's okay. You then tell another story about this here, and you can still have your big overarching connected universe. But you don't have to. You don't have to do it like Marvel did. You don't have to do that. And it will sell just as much. Because here's the crazy thing about it. Sometimes I think these alternate characters, these alternative non-canon characters that DC has sometimes they're more interesting to some people than the connected universes one. And that's fine. Tell your story. Like you said, you can have 10 different Batman stories in 10 years, a different Batman movie every year.
The weirdness of the universe you've built.
Right.
Don't be ashamed of your past, DC. And this goes to like a larger meta issue. So why the fuck there's no DC Unlimited?
I didn't even bring it up this time.
You didn't. And as I was saying, you know what? This is Chris's thing. But it's all fruit from the same poisonous tree of we're trying to get it right still. Motherfucker, you've been doing it for 100 years. Have a little confidence. Hey, man, these characters have stood the test of time. There's a reason. Tom King's Superman Batman issue, I'm calling it Superman Batman issue because they get equal page time.
Yeah.
That's it.
It really
That's
was.
why they've endured. And the one word that's bandied about by both characters about the other character that you never feel in anything that they put out in the DCEU is the word hope.
Mm-hmm.
They hand-fisted it in Justice League a little bit, which, because I'm a nerd and because that's what I've been like salivating for, I appreciate it.
Right, that's
their Uncanny Valley Superman saying the word hope to some kids' podcast.
And that's the thing. I've seen a lot of people try to. These people who swear up and down Justice League is a good movie. Like, listen, it's not a good movie. People. I've seen some people respond. Was like, yeah, there's a lot of comic book sites who said they enjoyed Justice League, but when the reviews came out, they said it was a bad movie. I'm like, well, you can do both. I enjoyed the hope. I enjoyed some of the moments. I enjoyed moments. You're right. I enjoyed some moments. But overall, if I start thinking about it in the context of the overall universe, I'm just fucking sad.
Or as just a movie. It's a poorly put together movie.
Right. And I'm sad because, like, and we talk about the Infinity War trailer, 230 million views in 24 hours. We're talking about the Avengers. We also got to mention the whole Fox, and we're going to tease the Fox Disney may be buying Fox thing right now. And
Chris, it's phase 4.
Right. And people talking about
phase 4.
Bringing
FOUR. Guess who's coming home, Chris? I'm going to lose my mind. Please listen to Agents of Shield podcast that are released.
Yeah, we're gonna talk.
I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
We're gonna talk the Disney Fox stuff on the Agent of Shield podcast coming this weekend. But like the Infinity War trailer, 230 million views. It's the Avengers. Like, I don't think people understand how fucking insane that is. That we are at this point, everyone is so excited for Infinity War. And Justice League just came out. The first time we saw the live action Justice League together on the big screen, and none of us really give a fuck.
This is the third version of Avengers, and no one really liked Age of Ultron.
Right.
Like, that's how good these movies are. Nope. That's how engaged people, that's how connected people feel to the characters. And if you find me someone who bought that Superman's dead, Hope is dead bullshit, when you just spend an entire, the plot of Batman versus Superman is that Lex Luthor has convinced the world Superman is evil. That's the plot. And he's done such a good job of doing so. He's convinced a psychopath with guns and a bat-themed onesie that he needs to kill. He is so good at PR, he convinced Batman that Superman needed to die. But they're telling you when he died, Hope died. Eat shit, DC. Eat shit. I've been thinking about this movie for the last couple. And after Crisis, I was like, can we record the review? I want to be way meaner to Justice League.
Yeah. Like, I think that's the other thing, too. Like, people wonder why the attitudes towards the Justice League started plummeting. It's because we saw Crisis on Infinite Earths, guys.
DC dunked on themselves. I don't know what to tell you. I've never seen anything like it.
Like, I'm sorry. Any hope I had, I'm like, well, maybe. And then I saw that, I was like, oh no, fuck that. I'm sorry.
Everyone was on the Dpalm train of, oh, they don't care.
I was trying to be nice here, and that's the other thing. Like, here's the crazy thing, and we'll end on this one. Somebody asked about. We're going to talk about the Disney buying 20th Century Fox thing on the Agent of Shield podcast, and maybe, who knows, maybe that'll be live too. Well, maybe I'll actually make that.
Like prep me so maybe I can go live too. I don't know. I could have been on camera. I don't know.
Maybe I'll. We'll figure this shit out.
Let me know before you hit record.
I was testing out the technology.
I wanted to get the natural reaction. What are you talking about?
Just go with it. Just go with it.
We texted before we recorded.
I was getting my Tommy Wiseau on. I was doing the room. Like, I'm just like, just go with it. Just go in. But goddamn, what was I even talking about? Shit. But no, like, I see that. Like, here's the thing. People think people are piling onto the Justice League and piling onto the DC and piling onto the DC films. Like, I don't think you guys understand. We're being nice.
Super nice. Super. I can be, if I want to go full nerd and like really tear that movie apart, first of all, I have to see it again, which,
So here's the thing. Think about how something I've gone in on Fox and their X-Men movies. And here's the thing about those movies. For the most part, they're good movies.
They're at least put together well.
They're like, people get mad, look at me like I'm crazy when I say I hate the X-Men movies, but they're good movies. It's like, no. As films, they are well put together films for the most part. For the most part. They're shot well, except for Apocalypse, which was really bad. They're shot well, they're acted well, like they flow generally well. Like, they're well put together films, and I still shit on them. So think about how I do that, and then you have the DC films, which for the most part are not. Like, the basics of filmmaking. The basics of filmmaking. Like, dude, I didn't get your reaction to this. I put that video up about the cut scenes out of Justice League. And I lost my mind when I found out that Kevin Smith was upset about the Deathstroke scene being cut in the middle of the film. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
No, okay, so that's one of those things like a pull quote. Kevin Smith he's the nerd with the sunshine colored lenses all the time.
Yeah, I can't trust him on things like this. I'm sorry.
No. If you want to talk like critically, like he wants, like I was listening to the podcast today. He was like, dude, they should Legion of Doom as a movie. It'd make all the money. He's like, wait, maybe I'm just speaking from my childhood. Like he was in the if you listen to the shows, like he'll have those moments, but then he'll reel himself in.
Right, and so like there was a scene about Deathstroke in the middle and breaking Lex out in the middle of the film, and I've seen people go, "Oh yeah, why are they taking that out?" I'm like, because as a film, It makes no sense.
Fucking sense.
Like, you're never going to bring that plot point back in that film. You know they're not going to bring that back right in the film. They don't. So, and I think so many of these fans, like, you're looking at these scenes and you're looking at these things and you're looking at these moments and you're going, oh, that would be cool to see. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes they're, like, for instance, the Justice League film. There are cool moments in that film where I enjoyed them and I liked them and I smiled, I laughed, and it was great. But as a film, when you put it all together, it's a mess. Like, look.
Oh, my God. You know what it is?
What?
It's a little kid who doesn't have all of one type of toy, so the Transformers are playing with the X-Men.
I've done that.
And it creates good moments, but not a very cohesive story.
Yeah, and that kid grows up.
Zack Snyder's the kid with all the toys, but not enough of one set.
Right.
So you get Ninja Turtles working alongside Batman to take down Megatron.
On Lego blocks.
Yeah, who's living in a Lego fortress.
Oh, man. I like to think of it also like a kid who you give unlimited cash to go into a candy store and eat whatever they want, and they just eat they just
get sick.
They get sick. And that's what this is. It's like, yeah, individually, these things sound great. When you put them together in a big pot.
There are moments I can tell you about Justice League that are, you're like, holy shit, that sounds cool as hell. I'm like, it is. Makes no sense. But it's cool.
Right. Right.
Which is so funny because that's like one of the, and we're about to get out of here. The damning criticisms of quote unquote comic book movies is that they look cool or they're fun, but they're not what's the word I'm looking for here? They're not engaging. The stories aren't engaging.
Right.
Which that's not true. Marvel stories are mad. Yo, go watch Winter Soldier. Don't be engaged, you liar.
No, I love that. I love they're not engaged, so you're not engaged, but you still pay money to go see them.
Well, I wasn't engaged with Justice League, and guess what? People didn't pay money to see that. So we'll see. DC will never learn the right lessons, and I'm done. Take my fix, DC. Give me my multiverse. Give me Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Do it.
Or ignore me and make Suicide Squad 2.
And keep losing money. I also love that. I love that.
That's like 700 million worldwide to break even, right?
Yeah. Oh, they're not going to
just cross 200 million.
They're not going to hit that.
They're not going to hit it.
No, the thinking now is this going to make less than Man of Steel, which is like 6 something, and I'm like, ooh, damn.
People need to be fired.
Yeah, definitely. I will say, last thing, people say the fans want this. I'm like, the fans didn't go to see the movie. Like, somebody had that sick burn on Twitter where they were like, DC fans keep saying he's like, DC fans will be all upset about things, but they won't even go see. Will defend their movie, but they won't go see it or something like that. And I was just like, ooh, that's true. You
didn't love it enough.
You didn't love it enough to go see it.
Or you know what? Maybe there are fans of what you're doing. You've targeted the wrong group because there aren't enough of them for your movie to be solvent.
Right. So.
You can tell these stories, but do it cheaper because the audience is smaller than you think.
Way smaller.
For people who want to see this. And I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to say it again on Sunday when we do the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. The way you create lifelong fans is you hook them young. Star Wars currently has parents taking their children. Mm-hmm. Marvel will have parents taking their children. And I always say this, the reason WWF won and WCW lost was because one catered to the kids and created lifelong fans.
Yep, that's how you do it.
That's how you do it. That's how you create raving generational fans and generational money. Shout out to Disney who did it first.
That's how you do it. All right, folks, we are getting out of here. If you guys were able to catch our sneak Facebook Live, thank you guys very much. We will keep practicing and changing and working on this. See how this goes. Thank you guys very much. If you were just getting us on the podcast or on YouTube, again, thank you guys very much for listening. Make sure you guys subscribe to Super Tuesday Recap. Like I said, we're going to start working to try to combine some of the Super Tuesday Recap shows. If we do them at the same time in one night, we're going to do them combined. If they're on the same thing, like we're going to record this weekend Arrow and Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Those would be 2 separate podcasts because not the same universe. But if they're on the same universe, we're going to record them all in one because I feel like everybody just likes to listen to us talk. And
see that our listeners can understand universes, so can your viewers, DC.
We have it. We have a shared universe here at the NPR network. And we're trying to do that. So make sure, speaking of Share Universe, make sure you subscribe to all of our different shows.
Nicely done.
Yeah, no, seriously, because like if you listen to the last review we did on the Movie Trailer Reviews podcast on the post, you're actually going to get like the beginning of that episode is like 20 minutes of me and Tim talking about us voting for certain films or certain films we're looking at that might be in our voting, we might be voting for come award season, because I voted earlier today. I did my nominations earlier today. So, and then I know starting in 2018 on the Movie Trailer Reviews podcast, we're actually going to have a podcast where we kind of go into talking about, they'll be on the same feed. We'll be doing reviews, but we're also going to be talking about some of the films that are going to come up, because I feel like this is going to be a year where a lot of people haven't seen the films that are announced that are going to be going to win. I mean, there are going to be some that people are really thinking about, but there are a lot of other ones out there. A couple ones I've seen. Lady Bird was actually really good. The Shape of Water might be Del Toro's best film ever. So if you can find that film, go watch it. It is really fucking good. So, yes. So, like I said, Super Tuesday recap here, movie trailer reviews for the podcast stuff, and again on YouTube, youtube.com/MTR Network. I'm hoping to have several videos come out over maybe not tomorrow, starting probably Friday. We have some stuff for the DCEU video series I'm going to do is hopefully be shot this weekend. But I also have I'm going to do a thing on Darth Vader from the Darth Vader run. So we'll be talking about, I'm going to have a video for that. We'll have a quick review.
MTR Christmas presents.
The Christmas present, where we're going to talk about some comic stuff. There's going to be written. There might be some podcasts, and there's going to be some video content for that.
All over the place.
I got to find out when the embargo's up for I think I see Star Wars on Monday, so I'll have a quick review up on YouTube for that one as well. So again, if you're not subscribed to us on YouTube, you need to be subscribed to us on YouTube. We have a lot of stuff coming out, and who knows when I'm going to drop a rant, because I dropped a rant earlier this week, and I didn't know I was going to do it, so... It happens. So, again, folks, just follow us on all our social media. MTR Network on Facebook, MTR Network on Instagram. I'm going to start working on trying to get our Instagram up, and mtrnetwork.net. So, again, folks, thank you guys very much for listening. Until next time, we are out of here. Peace.